So we launched our Grow Track program last year in 2023 at the beginning of the year in January. Actually, it looks like we launched it in February. And we did it throughout the year. And then in 2024, we revamped it a little. So I will show you our STEP program from 2023 so that it shows you more data. Um, this is a dashboard. It's all built into Core Rock. So we didn't customize anything on this page. And we have 4 different steps. We had week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. And then the graph shows you the number of people that went to each um, step. And it's a stacked graph. So these orange people start at green and go up to orange. So that represents 25. This one represents 27. This one represents 24 people. And then this is the bigger group at 60 people. So we had 60 people show up for the lunch, and then about a third of them showed up for each of the classes after that. And then people didn't have to do Grow Track in order, so they could bounce around and do other weeks. This is Easter. We only did the 2 weeks. We didn't offer week 3 or 4 that month, so that's why it's a little different. And I can't remember why we don't have anybody on week 2 on this one. Maybe attendance didn't work out very well and we didn't go back and fix it. June, the same thing. I think we only did, it's either an attendance thing or we only offered 1 or 2 classes. July was dark. August we came back in and did some. September was dark, and then October and November we had some classes. So that's kind of a overview for leadership to see kind of the effectiveness. And another fun thing is this next step flow button. And we can say previous year so that we get some data showing up. And we only have 4 steps, so that'll be our 4 levels. We only have 1 campus, but if you had multiple campuses, you could separate it by campus here. So previous year. Okay, so this is called a step flow chart. And what it's showing is kind of how people flow from week 1 to week 2 to week 3 to week 4. And this blue bar indicates that in the whole year, we had 264 people going through week 1. We had 28 people going through week 2. That doesn't seem right. 26 people. Oh, I see. 28 people started their journey at week 2. 26 people started their journey at week 3, and 2 people started their journey at week 4. Basically, they checked into week 4, but looks like they didn't go anywhere. So what this flow means, we'll check this week 2. This means that this is the first meeting they went to, the first step that they accomplished. And from there, the next step that was accomplished by this group of people was we had 2 people went back and did week 1. And then we can follow this flow, and it shows that if we highlight here, it looks like 15 people went on to week 3, and the average days between that was 7 days. And then this one is the number of people, 4 steps were taken, and they went directly from week 2 to week 4. So that's kind of how to explain it. So most people are in these bigger paths. They started at week 1, and then this group of people, 80 people, did week 2. Of those, 54 went on to week 3, and looks like 37 people went on to week 4. And they actually went kind of in the right order. But that's kind of a fun chart to play with. You can there's not much to do with it except to give it a different date range and a different number of levels. If you only wanted 2 levels to displace, for example, I'll just show you an example of that. It just shows like how many people started and what did they do next. And you can ignore the next 2 steps after that. So we had 4 levels, so 4 levels worked good for us. The other thing that you can see is you can drill into each step. So each week is its own step, And when you're inside the week, you have another dashboard. So we've had, I have to go back and do the previous year again. There we go. So last year we had 270 people completed our Discover Centerpoint lunch step. And there were no partially done. So steps can have a, a longevity. So you could start a step at one date and then have to do something and complete it another date. But all of our steps are set up to be like one and done. So that's why there's no differentiation between individuals completing and steps completed. Then below, there is an entire roster of everybody who completed that step and also the date that they completed it. And then anytime in Rock you see this little person icon, that's a link back to their person profile. This is also where, with proper security levels, you could administrate the steps. So you could delete somebody off of a step for some reason if you needed to. A custom thing we did in Rock, there's a recipe that allows you to display the total count number at the top of the grid instead of the bottom. And otherwise you have to scroll all the way to the bottom, wherever it ends up, and you get a little dizzy as you get down there. I think we must have like 5,000 being shown. We have 500 being shown. So it'll show you that there's 320 in the list, but you have to go to the bottom to find that. Okay, so that is kind of the step program behind the scenes for administering it. There are some other tools that go into it with the attendance and some data views and some workflows that will automatically put somebody in the step after they checked into one of the Grow Track weeks. So that's the step program.